Hey everybody, it's Matt from You and Your Horror Movies, and I decided to do my shelf of my trailer compilations, and documentaries. So yeah, these are all the shelf of them. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do something different. Instead of going, number through Z, let's go backwards. Why? Because why not? Alright, for Z's, we have Zombie Jamboree. It's like a Night of the Living Dead type of documentary. It was fun. Witch's Dungeon, 40 years. This is a what the hell is this? It has to do with like a wax museum and stuff, but the proceeds when you buy this go to the actual dungeon, the Witch's Dungeon, which is I think in New Jersey. Don't quote me on that, but I had to get that. Witches, Vampires, and Zombies. Yeah, it's a weird documentary. When Puppets Attack. These are like all the kills from the Puppet Master line. So, yeah, it's found at a pawn shop. What Happens in the Woods. A documentary on the movie Don't Fuck in the Woods. The Vinegar Syndrome catalog of Series 1. This actually has different discs. It has like trailer compilations and everything from all the stuff that Vinegar Syndrome put out from the first movie. This was like super cheap on Amazon. I think I found it for like $1.99. Had to own it. It's freaking awesome. Video Nasties Volume 2 and Video Nasties Volume 1 documentaries. Of course, go backwards. VHS Massacre, documentary from like Troma Films. Unearthed and Untold, the Pet Cemetery documentary. Underground Entertainment. This is the Legless Corpse edition of the Underground Entertainment doc. Unconventional. This is a documentary on horror conventions. A lot of fun. That's what actually got me into conventions. Trashploitation. This is a compilation of trailers from SRS Cinema. A lot of shot on video. Trashtastic, another trailer compilation. This is like a lot of weird trailers right here, as you can see. Sorry for the glare, but yeah, that's pretty cool. A lot of weird stuff. Television Trauma, Trailer Trauma 4, Television Trauma, Part 3, which is the 80s. Drive-In Monster Mania, Terror Trauma 2. Yeah, and of course on the floor, Terror Trauma 1. Alright, we're going to the next shelf. Up we go. Trail of Dracula. This is a documentary on different Dracula type films. This is a kind of cool little documentary, pretty long doc. To Hell and Back, the documentary of Kane Hodder. It's freaking awesome. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, a family portrait documentary on Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1 and 2. Survival of the Film Freaks documentary, cool 80s documentary. Slaughter in Syracuse, 2014 documentary. Of course, I live near Syracuse, had to pick this up. Different types of trailers. And of course, Slaughter in Syracuse 2015. Oops, got them reversed. Slice and Dice documentary from the 80s slashers. Pretty cool doc. Throw it down here for now. Shock Festival. Weird compilation of trailers and a bunch of other things. So yeah, this is all over the place. Sharknado Feeding Frenzy. This is a documentary on the first couple, like the first Sharknado, the whole lightning in a bottle they did. Shark Week from Discovery. This actually has a remake of 12 Days of Terror on here from the movie. So it's kind of a neat. I think it's called Blood in the Water. That was the actual movie. It was a made-for-TV movie on Discovery. It's a bootleg of Satanism and Witchcraft. Scream Greatest. Ghost Stories, documentary on scary stories to tell in the dark. Room 237, documentary on The Shining. Rewind This for VHS collectors. The Real Story of Scream. This is put up by the Smithsonian Channel. It's supposedly how Scream got its idea from this movie on TV, from this real life happening. So it's like a documentary. The Ray Harryhausen special effects doc. Penny Pinchers. This is a trailer compilation of more of SRS cinema stuff, and it's a documentary as well. I think it's just a documentary. The Mothman of Point Pleasant, documentary on the Mothman. Nightmares in Red, White, and Blue, cool horror doc. Never Scream Again, Nightmare on Elm Street documentary, it's awesome. My Amityville Horror documentary, of course, of the young kid who grew up in the Amityville house during the fucked up time. Monsters Crash the Pajama Party. Yeah, this is fucking weird. I don't know what this is, but it's in here. Alright, next tier up. We have... see if I can do this without knocking shit out. It's a little tight in this one. Yeah. Alright. Monsters Among Us. Origins of Horror's Greatest Legends documentary. Werewolves and shapeshifters, witchcraft, demons. Spirit World, the undead, vampires. So yeah. History Channel, Monsters of the Sea, about sea monsters. Monster Mansion Memories, documentary on the Monster Mansion, which was located near me. This was actually in Syracuse, aired on the TV show. Monster Madness Volume 4, Volume 3, these are all documentaries. Volume 2, and of course, Volume 1. Masters of Dark Shadow, documentary on the TV show Dark Shadows. Magnetic Highway, another documentary on VHS collecting and horror films. Parua, pretty much interviews with Lucio Fulci, which is awesome. Lovecraft, documentary, of course, on H.P. Lovecraft. Lost Soul, documentary on Island of Dr. Moreau. The Land of Celtic Ghosts documentary, pretty much, you know, horror, that stuff. King Cohen, documentary on Larry King Cohen. Same thing with King Occult. Just Desserts, documentary on Creepshow 1 and 2. John Carpenter documentary. Invasion of Chestnut Ridge. Another documentary on cryptozoology. Invaluable, documentary on Evil Dead 1 and 2. In the Grip of Evil, supposedly it's a live documentary-based exorcism. H.P. Lovecraft, CthulhuCon, 2014. And his name was Jason documentary. Alright. Next row up. Switch hands here. Horror Effects by Tom Savini. This is like a very short documentary. It's like 30 minutes, I think it is. Like he gets interviewed about his special effects. The Horrible Horror Special Edition, hosted by Zachary. This is another trailer compilation. It's pretty cool. Heroes of Horror documentary. It's a 4-part with Boris Karloff, Lon Chaney Jr., Bela Lugosi, and Peter Lorre. It's a pretty cool doc. Haunted Histories. Another one on Dracula, witches, voodoo, and exorcism. I found this at FYE for like $1.99. So I'm like, you know what? I will grab that. History Channel, The Haunted History of Halloween documentary. Haunters, documentary on haunted houses and people who make them. Hammer Film documentary, not documentary. This is a trailer compilation of all Hammer films. H.H. Holmes, supposedly the first serial killer documentary. Going to Pieces, slasher documentary. Fury of the Demon, French documentary on this supposedly French horror film. The History Channel, Frankenstein and the Real Story. Another documentary, The Flatwoods Monster, Cryptozoology doc. Filming seminar by John Russo about Night of the Living Dead. Fear Makers Volume 1. There's a whole complete set which I need to find, which unfortunately is out of print. Phantasm. This was a horror con documentary. Some kids' college final was based on this. It was pretty cool. Bootleg Fangoria's Weekend of Horror documentary. Faces of Death. I only have this one, which is a 30th anniversary edition. So it's not all of them. The Extra Weird Sampler. It's like a compilation of all different trailers that Extra Weird put out. Yeah, some weird shit. And another one, 20 Years of Terror, Exhumed Films, trailer compilation. Alright, last row. Alright, fucking knees hurt, but we're gonna do this. Alrighty. Documentary of the Dead, based on George Romero. Delirium, another compilation. This is put out by Umbrella. So it's got a lot of trailers from all over the place. Another one, this is the 80s. And if you want to pause it, those are all the trailer compilations from all those films. Set those down right here. Okay. Dario Argento documentary. Camp Crystal Lake, the documentary on Friday the 13th. Awesome doc. The Creep Behind the Camera. It's a documentary of the Creeping Terror, and it comes with the Creeping Terror. Creature Feature, 60 Years of the Gill Man. Documentary on the Gill Man and a convention, all based on the Gill Man. And actually had both, what's his name? The two people that played him. Ben Chaplin, which actually died when this documentary was done, so it's like dedicated to him. And they actually had both the guys there. Oh, what was his other name? He's still alive too. Wow. I completely forgot his name. It'll come to me. People probably screaming at me. This is just a classic horror trailer compilation. I found it on Amazon. I thought it's all burned on demand, but it's got all weird trailers. Contamination, a convention story. It's at a horror con and a sci-fi con interviewing people. The complete Bob Wilkins Creature Feature. They interview him about his show that he did. Brutes and Savages. It's like a mockumentary with cannibalism and everything and jungle horror. The Bray Road Beast documentary based on the Bray Road Beast. I have this in here. It's the Boogeyman. This is kind of like a game that you can put on your DVD player. I have it in here. It's pretty fun. Trailer compilation, Blood of 1,000 Vampires, Grindhouse. Backyard Epics. This is more trailers on SRS Cinema and shot on video stuff. Like She Kills, House Shark, a bunch of other films. The Aurora Monsters documentary. This is about the model that they did based on the Universal Monsters. Pretty cool little doc. The Amityville Confidential. I bought this just because for the documentary itself. It's not in the box set that Scream Factory put out, so it's its own like separate release. So I found it on eBay and got my own separate release on it. America's Serial Killers, another documentary on, of course, serial killers. Alien Creatures from Beyond, another documentary on monsters and stuff. Adjust Your Tracking, another documentary on VHS collecting and horror films. You know what, let me take this out because this is starting to get a little wobbly. 100 Years of Horror, hosted by Christopher Lee. 7852, documentary on Psycho. And last is the 42nd Street Forever trailer compilation. You can pause it there for all the trailers plus more. This is put up by Synapse. So yeah, that is that shelf, guys, for my documentaries, trailer compilations, and like little miscellaneous stuff. So let me know what you guys think below. Love to hear your thoughts in the comments section. If there's other documentaries that are out there that I should pick up, let me know, guys. Talk to you later. Peace.